Beyond the Veil, Navigating the Great Awakening, a special series on Survivor Angels.
It's time for Survivor Angels, an approach to strengthen trauma survivors. Here, you can escape what draws negativity and engage your positive abilities and the gifts that you've always had. Let's activate your angels. And to help you on that journey, here's Chaplain Jody.
April showers bring May what, Jen?
New adventures.
I like
April, it. Yeah, April, I feel is going to be like a super easy month. Like karmically, doors are opening for people, new opportunity. You have 2 moons in the month.
I saw that May 1st and May 31st, and they're both micro moons.
Yep. Micro moons and a blue moon at the end of the month. But you also have a meteor shower, and this is like the end of a karmic cycle and a new cycle starting for opportunity. And that's what I'm seeing. Because if you have something you want to do, this is the month to start it.
Right. Yep. Angels, the first thing that they said to me when I started sitting with this was threshold. This is a threshold month where things that you've always wanted to do, things that you've maybe hesitated on doing, this is the month to take that step through the threshold. They also gave me the caveat with that, though. Keep it simple.
Yeah.
Keep it super simple. Start by grounding.
Steps. Yeah.
Get yourself grounded first.
Yeah, with that, the first is the new moon, full moon, sorry. And that is like illuminating things we've wanted to do. Everybody always says, oh, I'm getting rid of whatever doesn't serve me. All right, then do it. Right. That's what this moon is illuminating. And then the 5th and the 6th, you have the meteor shower, which is going to spark that extra energy of getting things done. But there's also illumination in a couple of different ways that we'll talk about.
Yes, there is. Absolutely, there is. And so now people, everybody who's watching and listening to us, you know that Jen and I, we don't talk about this stuff ahead of time. She taps into her guides, I tap into my angels, and we bring it here to you live. First time that we talked about this. I want to back up just for a second here, though, and go back and talk a little bit about April. Because for those of you who listen to us regularly, and for those of you who maybe are just tuning in for the first time, in April, Jen made a comment that in DC, about mid-month, there was a possibility that somebody very important could die. All right. So we all know what happened at the correspondence dinner. Don't have to fill anybody in on the blanks on that one. It's interesting because 2 days before that, my husband had a dream, and all it was basically was stay out of DC, stay away from DC. Now, the last time he had a dream like that was 9/11. And where people saw planes crashing into buildings, he saw the one going into the ground. So when he tells me these things, I'm like, whoa, pay attention. And especially because of what you had said, Jen, too. It's like, oh, wow. So we might be a little past what some people would say mid-month, but we weren't that far past it. And so we're off a little bit on timing. The message was still there.
And the energy is what we pick up on. I think that your husband is very in tune, whether he wants to admit it or not. Right. But when he hits a certain resonance or frequency of energy, I think that's what tunes him in. Hence 9/11, hence stay out of DC. I never want to say, oh, I feel like this person's going to pass. I just won't call people out on that. But I will
Right.
say politically, if something I see may not be going well, may head that way, but I won't say it. I also feel like this upcoming month, you may start seeing people in the news going, oh my God, that person passed. Oh my gosh, this person passed. It's because collectively, karmically, cycles are ending, new beginnings. So if somebody's karmic cycle is up, don't be surprised when you see it on the news going, oh, I didn't know they were sick, or oh, whatever. You may start seeing a regeneration or a resurgence of this during this month. Not bad things.
Right.
It's a cycle. And you got
Yep.
to look at it as a cycle, things starting, things ending. And it's just a natural path of energy.
Talk a little bit more, Jen, about karmic cycles in regards to when it's time for our energy to move, to separate out from the shell that we're in. For those that maybe aren't as familiar with that. So speak to that.
Yeah. So karmic cycles are most of the time lessons that we have to learn. We've tried and we fall back. We try and we fall back. I have, as some of my viewers know, or some of my clients know, I've had trauma in my past. And sometimes I get triggered. But I've gone through enough therapy, thank goodness, to realize that this is like a cycle. And if I don't let go of that cycle, it will continue to repeat. Hence, people who get married and are abused, divorce, get married and get abused, and divorce and get married and abused. This is a cycle.
Yes.
This is how we end up learning lessons or not. And
Right.
this month specifically is calling us to break it. They're giving us the energies. Their energy is really kind of pushing us to release fear, release doubt, release shame, release, those messages that you tell yourself you're not good enough, you're too fat, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Release it. Be done with it. Say, I'm not doing this anymore, so that I can spring forward and move into a different vibration and learn. That's what this month is karmically telling us to do. Now, if you don't, guess what? You're going to have to wait for another opportunity for a karmic cycle to go again, astrologically and energetically. If you try and do this outside of those karmic cycles, it could be harder. So why not use the momentum, use the energy, use your guides, use your angels. This is the time to better yourself, better business, better communication, better how you think of things in the world.
Yeah.
Changing that mindset, right?
Yep.
That's what this is about.
And the reason I want you to talk about this is because right now I'm seeing all over social media, and it's the young people who are doing it, and it's the mental health professionals that are telling them, you need to stop doing this. And what I'm talking about is so many young people, young adults, are blaming their parents for the crap way that their lives are and how they can't deal with life. And their parents didn't give them this, and their parents didn't give them that. They don't understand how life works, as the mental health professionals say. This isn't granted, your parents raised you in a certain way. I am not saying that they didn't, because I could talk about that all day long too on my side. The point is you are now an adult, and you are free to do what you want to do. Make better choices. Don't make the same choices and decisions. And especially this month, this is going to be, as you said, a great month of illumination where you're going to start seeing paths forward. And one of the paths is not to go back and browbeat your parents. They did the best they could, more than likely. I don't know everybody's story. There's always a few exceptions to the rule. But the majority of them did the best that they could. They learned from their parents. You have to remember, this wasn't just a knee-jerk decision that they made, because this comes from generations,
Right.
this behavior. And so to go back and browbeat and cut off ties with your parents and all of that isn't necessarily the best way. I would like to recommend that you call in Archangel Gabriel and ask Gabriel to guide you in a sit down, open, and honest conversation with your folks. And find out, flat ask them. I did it with my mom. How did your mom raise you? And bam, if it didn't come back to the way she was raised by her mom is the way she raised me. And that wasn't always good.
Yeah.
And so when you start finding these things out, that's when you can also look at yourself, because that stuff is there too. And at some point, and another piece of this is if you're not a parent yet, you don't get this. And that's another reason why you can't browbeat your parents, because if you haven't been a parent yet yourself, you don't understand all of the workings of being a parent. It is the toughest job in the world. And so you need to stop being judge and jury here and start instead being more investigator and find out the whys and the wherefores. Because at the bottom, or at the end of the day, I should say, you might find out that what your parents did, they did because they love you. And they thought at that point in time, it was the best thing because of how they were raised.
Right.
And they don't know any different. And some people say, well, that's no excuse. So the next step of that is our parents didn't have all of the tools available to them like we have nowadays. And that's where, as a young adult, one of your options is to use those tools, both to regain your relationship with your parents and also to find out what was your role in everything. Were you being just a little frickin' shit? I'm sorry. The way I raise my kids is if you're going to be a little shit, there's consequences. And there are a whole lot of parents who are like that, but because Dr. Spock and other people said, oh, no, we have to treat them with kid gloves or we're just going to. There is a line, yes. But you, as a parent, you also need to teach those fundamental pieces. You do something that hurts somebody, that hurts yourself, there are consequences for it. And you need to learn how to work through those. Those are lessons to be learned. I'm sorry, I know you want to say something, Jen, and I'm just going on. Blah, blah, blah.
No, for sure. It brings up two things. Personal responsibility. You're not a child anymore. Grown-ass adult.
Bottom line.
So make grown adult decisions correctly. Right. And so I get the baggage and I get I was never loved and, whatever. Been there.
Right.
So what do you do about it? Right. Mm-hmm. So in my case, went up to my dad, put my arms around him. I grew up in a volatile, horrible house, but I put my arms around him and I told him that I love him no matter what. And I forgive him for the past transgressions of abuse. And boy, you talk about but I took responsibility and I personally said, I need to forgive you. I can't change it. And I'm not going to live in their past and I'm not going to dwell, but I will not be you with my kids. Second thing was my brother died basically an alcoholic. My grandfather was an alcoholic. My uncles were alcoholics. So we have a long line of that karmic circle and junk, right?
Yep.
My personal responsibility, not only to myself, to my family, to my children, was not me. right? Now, I can say I had abuse. I can say I had alcoholism. I could use every excuse in the book. My parents didn't have the tools. They should have been divorced. There was physical abuse. There was mental, you name it.
Right.
I chose better, right? So it's personal responsibility. You can't use excuses and you can't use the past. The past is the past. Can't change it, but you can grow from it. And how you grow from it is your personal responsibility. Stop looking backwards, because backwards doesn't help you. You have to look forward, and you have to assume responsibility for the present to propel yourself forward. So that's what I look at is, are we committing the karmic cycle again? Is this good for me? Is this bad for me? And if it's not good for me, how am I going to break it? What am I going to do? What tools do I need? Do I need to take a class? Do I need to go for counseling? Do I need to do something? But don't just sit in it, because all you're doing is letting the dust collect, and it's going to happen again and again. So this is why this month is going to be so pivotal and so key. If you don't have that relationship with your parents, what are you doing about it? Right. What is that trigger? What is that anger that you're feeling? Okay, identify it, take care of it. And if you don't see the resolve, move past it. Yep. Because you don't have to sit with that anymore. You've identified it. Let it go. This is the karmic cycle. Let it go.
And the word that you keep using over and over and over is absolutely right. You do. Nobody else is going to do this for you. And I know some will say, well, they're going to have to come to me first. Why? Why don't you take that first step forward?
Yeah.
You're an adult. Be responsible. Be accountable. Start the conversation. And even if you choose to go to therapy or counseling, you still have to do the work. Nobody else is going to do it for you. Sorry, you don't get an easy pass, right?
Yeah. What I found from doing 5+ years of counseling was that what's eating me alive and what's bothering me doesn't affect them. Nope. They're in their own world. They're doing their own thing. They're happy-go-lucky and moving forward, but I'm stuck, churning, and my stomach is sick, and I'm mentally just distraught.
Yep.
It affects you. So if you're waiting for somebody to put that olive branch out, be the one, because what's holding you back is your ego. This is hurting me. If it's affecting me. No, if it's affecting you, take responsibility and do something about it. Right?
Right.
You can't wait for somebody else who may never show. And if they don't show and they don't give you the time and they don't give you the release you need, well, maybe those are boundaries that you need to look at again.
Right. Exactly. Another piece of the angels that were giving me for this month that fits right in with this is a truth-seeking month. Mm-hmm. Everybody is looking for greater truth.
Yeah.
Because there's so much misinformation flying around out there about everything. I'm not picking on any one thing. But, you can look at the whole global piece, you can look at our country, but you can look at relationships too.
Yeah.
Everywhere that you turn, people don't know who they can trust, who they can believe.
Mm. Yeah.
And so that's part of the journey of this month of May is to start finding the truth. And you can't find truth if you're loaded for bear.
Right.
You have got to be willing to open yourself to what is your part in it. We all have a part in it. To just be pointing fingers, it's not going to solve anything because everybody has got a piece in this pie. So first you need to start looking right here, right inside you. Not what is your truth, but what is the truth.
Absolutely. And taking it back to being a kid, your frame of reference is kid view. As an adult, looking back as an adult into my youth, boy, my perspective has changed. My understanding of relationships between a mom and a dad had changed because I had married and had kids. My frame of reference had to change
Yep.
in order for me to have understanding and empathy. May not like the situation, but I have empathy for what my parents went through and a better understanding in order for me to forgive. So it makes a big difference. Big difference. This month, I definitely feel like there's going to be a cosmic balance. There's going to be an amplification. There's going to be a resonance of where you've been struggling. Take care of it, right? It's all about balance. This is about you looking in your life going, what is making me happy? What's not? What is really irritating me and why? This is about balancing your own energy in order to learn lessons. I also hear that, okay, hold on. Off topic. I just heard that this upcoming month, we may get information on Nancy Guthrie case.
Oh,
it's going to illuminate. So with having 2 moons and illumination, there may be more upcoming information about that case.
More truth.
Yep.
More truth coming out.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. With the 2 moons as bookends to the month. I mean, that just screams at us balance, like you said, because they are bookends.
Yeah.
It's very rare to get a micro moon, first of all, and we're going to get 2 of them in the same month, one on the 1st and one on the 31st. The odds of that are astronomical if you start talking to the people in the know about those events that happen out there in the cosmos. And so it's a message for us because we are just as much tied to the cosmos as what we are to the planet Earth that, we're standing flat-footed on here.
We are the cosmos.
We are. Right? We are.
We're stardust and everything else that has gone into our bodies that we consume from the fields into our food. We are the cosmos. We are all connected.
Absolutely. So May will be probably not as volatile, do you think? I think it will take a slightly calmer, more introspective type focus. You think?
That's a great way to put it. Yeah, absolutely. This is what I call our shaking off. We're just shaking it, and whatever falls off is supposed to fall off, right? It's about trusting. It's about alignment. It's about our own personal goals. It's also about communication. So be careful this month. Be very clear about communication, whether or not you're having like concrete poured. Don't just do the handshake and get a written estimate, proposal, etc. Because this month can definitely have miscommunication. So be very clear about your intent. Be very clear about contracts. Be very clear about friendships. And knowing who you should align with and who you shouldn't. You may see online about, people, not supporting me and this and that and more, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Well, now it's highlighting. What are you doing about it? Cut those people out. Don't support them. You have a choice. Right. People treat you the way you allow them to treat you.
Amen.
And if you allow that, don't complain about it. Right.
Right.
You will definitely see, like you said, it's the bookends. If you think of the moon as 2 spotlights, it's illuminating and highlighting in your life what you should do. And now you got the highlight on you. And it's like, start being honest with yourself. Too many people, oh, well, whatever. Oh, it's just, no. Stop justifying bad behavior, right? And so be honest with yourself. Is this person essential to me? Or are they part of the tree where the leaves fall off and they float away?
Right.
Or are they part of my root system? Right?
Yes.
Know where people stand and put them in their proper place. It's okay if they're a leaf and they blow away and then they blow back. Then you know who they are, right? Be honest with yourself. Too many people are not honest with themselves and make excuses, which is why we have issues. Don't have issues. Know people, know who they are, know what the intent. If they have good energy towards you and they want the best, or if it's something self-serving, or you're providing them something that they need. That could be draining emotionally,
Oh,
spiritually, you name it. So just know
yep,
where people should stand.
absolutely. Yeah, we talked about contracts and everything. That's another piece the angels had given me is
Mhm.
they were going, economics, economics. I felt like I was in
Yes.
school for a minute. I'm going, wait, what? Economics, what? Think through decisions that affect your pocketbook.
Mm-hmm.
If you need to get a different car, if you need to do some work on your house, if the kids need something, like for sports, because summer's always a big sports time.
Mm-hmm.
Do you need to get them a brand new mitt, or can you go to the secondhand sports shop and get a used mitt, which might serve them better because it's all broken in? Think those things through. That was another piece the angels had given me. And then the other piece is that May is like our first really big growth month as
Yes.
far as nature. Everybody's planting seeds.
Right. Oh, great.
So
Yeah.
start planting good seeds in your life, in your relationships, in your career, financially, whatever the case is. Look at the seeds that you're planting before you plant them.
Great analogy. Love it. And that's so on point. Because if you're looking to invest in your future and invest in your growth spiritually, emotionally, physically, whatever, you're right. What seeds are you planting? Once again, you have to be the catalyst behind you getting better and doing better. That's just nobody, like you said, nobody's going to do it for you. So absolutely planting the seeds, huge. And I also want to bring up something that we did talk about before we started taping this. If you're in cleaning mode and like
Yes.
I'm having a yard sale this weekend, I am purging, Jody is cleaning out closets. And if you're feeling that way, you are not the only one. This is about purging,
Yep.
clearing the path, right?
Yep.
If you're doing this, you are in fine company because this month is specifically about doing that.
Yep. So as we started out the show, April showers bring May question mark. You are the one in control of the question mark. And so Jen and I wish you a beautiful, growthful, grounding May. See you next month, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Thanks again for joining Chaplain Jody on Survivor Angels. For more information, go to chaplainjody.me. That's chaplainjody.me. And on Facebook at Survivor Angels-Chaplain Jody. This is Dave Schrader. Until next time, sending you off to activate your angels.